same for and every back kids. But every fast so I just said I'm Baliba. I said, say I'm far. Ne fast so eh. Fire burn you.
All right, so Countryman Songo, this particular man or a refined sports journalist, but then so we need the sema aircourse so ewe chrono especially in Ghana sports cycle and as a circle and as secusa, you realize that for some time now he's not been seen. And there's a reason to this because Kamia Kwese in Simbibri si amene. Yabidu Hasi, and unfortunately, this news is a very sad news. So, for those of you who are more joining, welcome. Subscribe if you are new here to this particular platform as we begin. So, Countryman Songo, information about the Kayensa, from sports, pundits, and also sports journalist Sani Dara, part say, Nyamebwa October before the month will end. No, Countryman Songo, he will be appearing in court. Now, sa court in same way, enuntia na ye screens no, and it's very obvious. This whole issue. It has taken a toll on him. So what really happened? Against an effort. John Paston Nianji or the Kupi quarter ultimately Kupi more court. So Countryman Songo had to come and retract and appeal. But still now a year John Paston said they be still the case have to go on. And the shocking thing in all of this thing is that case now a bar against a year sports journalist a year Countryman Songo. And what really also happened was that or some sue multimedia a year stationer a year Countryman Songo. Not just say oye Juma ewo ho case so I Amana Bekaye and Untino it led to the suspension of Countryman Songo. You see, I know the NTV Casa he's been sacked, but then he currently ne Jumano is on hold kakra and Untani Yehu. Now let's put this because there's a video of what he said that Diabedu Hasi. Before then, Yensha in Sama Sanidara opposed to breaking news start to report that my brother Countryman Songo will be standing trial for defaming ex-Ghana defender John Penstill. The judge today set the date for 4th November for trial to begin. Penstill went to court over the insult on this. It's very sure you show the video a kofa san same way na e buy a man for be e ka ho sema e say to some people no a very very sad news. Now before I share this particular a video involved, let us also put this on the screens. Or say in fact his point was well made, just that the certificate is where he got it wrong. However, there are a lot of people who have said more demeaning and damaging statements than this, yet they are eating and walking gently. Let us think. And as Sanida Rabe posted, insulting someone, demeaning someone, or defaming someone is not criticism. You easily criticize people, but when someone just disagrees with you, you can get angry. It's sad that some of our journalists have taken this path. Into shut down now. Obibi Bisa said, please, does he still do his program at Adom TV and Asandara? So unfortunately, I think multimedia have suspended him. So what did he actually said? At this answer, I think so we have a video here detailing, I mean, the sequence of things at this answer in summer a year Countryman Songo kan no metimaka say the trouble be the first trouble is that amasi and Juma no abono he's been suspended. 2 sisi ano ya de na court, and 3 wasanso akoka amana beka ne jumemu for talking about multimedia too is also included in this particular court suit. But then some can cry we have a video involved, a video of what Countryman Songo kan ya this sensitive video about
only the number plate. Currently we pay 118. That's 118 Ghana cedis. But because now more security features are going.
On say about say we need appointment Ghana for catching us say who painting. We GB for pana. Say because on say about say we need appointment Ghana for catching us say who painting. We GB for pana. Say because we post ntina ukotena TV so now o cassette demonstration. This is the moment amenya. Me my demonstration what cassette here. Say now pe Blasters assistant coach. What Jimmy pa? We Jimmy pa. Kwasi abema uhuye nyan wate. Me na me catch now. Who bet me I assistant coach ama Blasters ayi. On say you say abotre ewie man kunimdi. me nya abotre wo ko tena TV so me ma ya demonstration efa football enko yi obetena ase na nka wo ka trash
ojai
in a professional wo num kan what hunya nya wo painting me na me ka concept guy sana ya fira na ka cha ne se ya be ma post enti kwasi asem bia ko ka kire demonstrators no eno obeka san kwasi asem no TV so kire ene wo person wo ye blasters and now we blasters assistant 3 coach finye nyankan kan what some basa no some way more somebody professional to make sure say or national team more professional we are no some basa no some basa no some problem no some say o cancer akwa we some ye ne na me sheda na be ye din di man. This is the moment. On go player. O ti o Bob Blasters on go. O call West Ham on go. What show who sa o ko tina TV so. Ye demonstration. Uni assembly kan ye din. Klasi ni ti sa o. Fin professional. Wo timi ko tina TV so say ye demonstration ni papa. Say now the propose. Asia o se fatasa o be Blasters assistant coach. Enye Jimmy for we mu a professional. Ena wo mu be ebetam wo e de wire propaganda. Wo bet my Blasters assistant coach. Kurasifo na no head coach na nkasa no. Wo ye trainer scout. Won sem fata. Na nim guase a mo beje no. Enim guase me fa won say ye nyina ye Ghana fo. Wasia sem akwa me mu obi ndin kwasa sem ntra me say ye Ghana fo. Taxpayers money. Mabo bada mo ye crazy. Munim ni amoye. Na time no beso manim guase wanim guase over Blasters na say na net here wo pension no hwe ewiase won obi nya na de kwa ye demonstration anasa jo meboa ye demonstration uni asem kan ye din okotena TV so na wo ba begu ye demonstrators no ye demonstration na ye na wo begu efin sena o ikatache no akwa we Jimmy for mu painting Jimmy for we mu enana mu be hu so won semfata na mu nim no nipa na ye din na dia mawo na I won't shift my attention to you wonu trainer scout ni nyina mo semfata mo ye bomb mo ye kankan national team na nye da mo amu be dwane afri national team Ghana Blasters mo boada anaket no onyansa chen hwan ket how many years Ket ni nyansa ya say ne common sense ni na disua e say a o se nipa bi etimi ma akwa we etimi use e okroma ni how mo di ni peska mo politicians no mo compromise fu kankana mo compromise mo ho no eni mo sports minister ni ntia nanka we di onya match kura ket we nonsense national team taxpayers money ni edituaka ba kwasasam ko na mo di kire o Blasters Ghana ni bia ni nye ho any trainer scout to adu we amakofa na ba mu wie so a se trainer scout we a wonya de we ye hu no se ni coach ye fun we oni wa ni obetimi a service situation so a mu nkohwe akoa bi amakotam na ba se paint we ni hunya nyan fu kankan we it is not that ejuma na nkasa no onim ye somebody who is o fake obi a ade a anya ne oni certificate bi opeso force nya set o ye bad person adwene kuta ne nya adwene papa kululu kwasia professional untena se na unsua de na untworo ne makew ne yanka se 10/10 ye the certificate asa wonsa but rather o forge certificate foolish guy like you kwasia fo we mu nyina wo mu titukuro we mu no football nkoye yani yesi nkoye ye demonstration wabani ye ka asema ye busa wasam na se bia wonim hwefa ho a na wo ba begu ye ho fie ni ha on say ho no man kasa me ka kire so wonya match me boa in the past man kasa wonya match kura mame na me nim na me twen this is the moment mo be finding the mo be dwane free Blasters mo be dwane kura kura si fo bi sa chale mame ko scan so biem mame ko chest
Honestly, in my many years Okay, me a lawyer, but I did a bit of law course at university, standard will be up a business administration, a constant start, obey a bit of law, business law, when law mukakra. And I did me own courses on that too on the side. It is hard to defend this. It is very hard to defend this because would you be court with defame you? You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt saying somebody panekano or can it you goofy. Onim sad na oka na enye but we nani ahyeda na oka. I beka say prima facie. In this case, there is a prima facie. To me, and I like Countryman Songo. I've met him a couple of times, but this is bad because John Pistol is sue. What share a yes sue now? What has he now? He did not just sue Countryman Songo. What I said, this report came some time because John Pistol sued 3 media entities, 4 sports journalists for defamation. And in here, no, we're listing for bebre, Countryman Songo, multimedia, omni media, bebre, Christopher, Countryman Songo, bebre. And we are learning, say, Sika John Pistol, no, almost by 20 million Ghana cedis. And if he's able to make his case well, he will win. He will win because in summer, Countryman Songo kind, and yet, you can disagree with a person, but for you to say, ni hunye nyai, ni hunfun, ni certificates cry, say be all one a fake. Aside from that, so can say a friend is saying, per Black Stars assistant coach, Eddie, and until say you exercise demonstration, all these things are malicious. I just say, so sad. But then the good light note of all of this, that Countryman Songo, epacho, multimedia, epacho, but still, John Pistol. In some more can say, dear Countryman Songo can it will live on the internet forever. Until you be considered for assistant coach, I say no the chances, and until he's seeking damages, and that is very sad. So and information about says, see and see a Countryman Songo beam on TV. It is because of this. It is because of this same issue. A year papi ultimately in some no metimaka say it is Edna to this particular huge trouble we could see or we could say things are not really going on well for a year Countryman Songo. And we are learning some multimedia, some multimedia have taken the position to suspend him till the court case. No, Countryman Songo ultimately by Nutana na same Black Stars bomb match near the own thing in can be but then case need beginning case need buy and or be patch or the actual part eba say or sre John Pencil say or you need near bear one can ye. But then also no a Countryman Songo a video near boy na he said emphatically said you are timing at to her. So could it be say this was maliciously planned? So sad that you say Countryman Songo him say ni buti mi fu otimi kwa hyper. But hyper we dear Ojana no Dawson. As I say, Ojana no Dawson. Personally, I wouldn't, if anything, like to even play the video again because Countryman Songo, I don't want to see him like this. So that is exactly what is really going on in regards to Countryman Songo. And Nutana and see him November, Sunday and he will be standing trial for Nsema Waka. More updates as all of these various events will continue to unfold. As if we can moving on to the camp of Kennedy Akompre Agyapong. So what is really happening with Agyapong? Agyapong we see our year campaign or the northern part of Ghana. Now we are not in the a particular constituency. Our can send Ibrahim for party say, hey, Kennedy Agyapong. Obi Netun's Assembeba, could the Assembeba, Kent is going to bring a lot of issues. Now, Ken Akokase, has say, there's one man, your friend, in Africa, there's one man, your friend Ibrahim Traore. Now, say Ibrahim Traore, the Intia, all popular is that he's serving his people. In fact, Ken said he draws inspiration from Ibrahim Traore. Now, Akokan Sansem no, a brana or have an interview, Upper West region, or this Sansem too. We have a portion of that particular video. You better say a video where Babaka it's for.
And they cannot change your life. You need a businessman who will come and create industries. At least the 5 northern regions, I'm going to move 2 ministries to the 5 northern regions. First one, I know, I'm certain, will go to Tamale because of Tamale Airport. And I'm sure because you have the airstrip here, whatever you have here, we have to turn it into airport, proper one, that we can send our produce to European market, UK market, and the rest with cargo planes. We are closer to Burkina. Go and see what the young man is doing. Are you saying he's a better human being than us? No, but he loves his country. That is all. He's sacrificing his life for Burkina Faso. Do we have same people here? Ask yourself. Your leaders that are going around, go and vote for Mr. A. And if not, we'll take your name out of the ballot papers or whatever registration. Ask them what they have done for the people in Upper West. With all what I'm saying, they are not able to do anything here. My brother, give me opportunity and you see how I'll change this country.
Yes, Honorable.
So these were in Sema Kennedy Agyapong Edituja. Also, he responded in a subsequent interview in the northern part of Ghana about why unusual of Kennedy Agyapong Mahama, but since Mahama, and the president, Kennedy Agyapong and Kasa against Mahama. That recall said last 2 years, 2023, when Ken was campaigning for the flag bearer race, he promised he apologized to John Dramani Mahama said because of politics, or can send me Egu Mahama in to appease his party base, and then the party base or me in the back of Ashanisa. And the Kamiako said Ken is living up to that particular apology. Yenti in some Okaya or that he is not going to attack John Dramani Mahama again.
Thank you very much. What makes me unique is my entrepreneurship programs that I have for this country. Almost all the candidates. Well, one of them is an entrepreneur, but I'm an experienced entrepreneur. I've been there for so long, creating jobs. And what I've realized is that the biggest challenge we have in this country is unemployment. And if we can solve unemployment problems, then we don't need people who think they are highly educated and they can go to IMF for loans, World Bank for loans. You see, anytime you go to IMF for loans, it means you have failed your people. If you go to World Bank for loans, you have failed your people. We have, especially in the north, I think we can use the land here for agriculture and the value chain of agro-processing industries. This is what we have to focus in this country. And the people coming from the north have the advantage over every region, the 5 regions here. Why? Because of the forest nature in the southern belt. But here, the land is flat. You can clear acreages of land for agriculture. So there are so many things we can do. And what I want to do for the people in the north, first, is to move Minister of Agriculture to Tamale, the northern region. I'm also thinking of one more ministry that I'll move
To the north here.
to the north, the 5 northern regions. At minimum 2 ministries will move.
Wow.
And why agriculture in the north or Tamale area is that Tamale is the center. Okay, the first place to come, you arrive at Tamale Airport, and we are going to use it mainly, or about 90%, we'll use it for cargo terminals. Because we are going to produce a lot of vegetables and all those things and export it to European market. And from Tamale to London is about 5 hours. So by the time the British wake up in the morning, all our pineapple, all our carrots, all our vegetables are on the market. This is how we're going to free ourselves from IMF and World Bank. Look at the land here. Let me give you one example. Shea butter is the most expensive cream because all the creams, when you see that they've added shea butter, check the price. What are we doing here? What are we doing? 365 days, you see the shea nut trees green. It means they survive any temperature or weather. We have to take advantage of. Look, you have no juice. Can you guys bring me the? We have no juice from Tama.
Spear
And look, the Tama juice, when you mix it with other, say, orange, apples, carrots, pineapple, you have no idea what we're going to get. What are we doing, my brother? So, agric, agro-processing. Let me draw your attention to something. When we are emphasizing on agriculture, it means we should produce our own fertilizer. And the fertilizer plant is going to be in the north.
Wow.
We have to have fertilizer plant. We cannot continuously import fertilizers for our farmers. It becomes so expensive. We are going to produce it here. So I'm begging the people of the northern region, the 5 northern regions, to see me as an entrepreneur, not only a businessman, entrepreneur who is going to create jobs, especially for the youth of this country. My brother, look the way you are. Because you have a job at this radio station, look at your personality. It shows clearly that at least, even if you are not rich, you are comfortable. What about our young sisters, our daughters, who migrate to the south just to be called Kayayo? We need to build these industries here. For them, the Southerners also to come to the north and look for jobs. That is what we need. So if I'm the president, I'll make sure first I move Minister of Agriculture to Tamale specifically. Some are asking, how are you going to do it? My brother, from here, go to Tamale and see the regional administration. It's so huge and it's underutilized. We are going to divide it into 2. Minister of Agric and regional administration. Then as time goes on, we build administration or structures for Minister of Agri. The advantage is people will now be moving. Anybody who wants to do agri transaction will come to the north. Okay?
Yes.
Will come to the north. There will be demand for housing. Contractors or investors will come in to build. And when they are building, carpenters, masons, plumbers, arc welders, tilers, painters, or electricians, all these guys are going to get jobs. This is how we can create employment for our youth of this country. Everything is saturated in Accra or centered in Accra, and the place is saturated. When you come to the north or any other regional capitals, apart from Accra, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, the place is dead. You only see activities from the weekends, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, they all go back. We cannot continuously do that. And therefore, if you want to build, because let's take it for instance, I live in New Jersey for so many years. We share border with New York. But I don't go to New York to shop. I get everything in New Jersey. I used to live in New York, but now in Jersey. I don't remember when I went to New York because I have everything there. When you move from New Jersey, you go to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, they don't come to New York for their needs. When you move from Pennsylvania, you go to Delaware, a small state, but they have everything themselves. You from Delaware to Maryland is the same. Why can't we do it? That is why I've decided to build this country by opening up, and you start that with the ministries. Minister of Energy will go to Takoradi, okay? Minister of Transport will stay in Accra because of the sea and the air, those things. Minister of Trade will go to Eastern Region. This is how we're going to make other cities vibrant. Wow. Now let me show you this. My brother, we are here as a country. We have pineapple in abundance. We have coconut in abundance. I bought this from a supermarket in Sunyani. And look at it yourself. If it's locally produced or is imported. How? Yeah, so this simple thing. You mean we cannot produce it ourselves?
Yes, so this is imported.
Right, and we are spending money to go and import this. Look, this. If you are Muslim, this is what you need. This is sparkling wine, non-alcoholic, made from pineapple and coconut. See for yourself. And all these are important.
Okay, because of emergency, you know, the Agyapong issue ni besi say. So let's move on to other issues. Minoka say the Bank of Ghana governor or the Simbi Akwako Tuja Ewa Bruchimemua. It has sparked a lot of praises and a lot of reaction. For starters, you know, the CD is performing relatively well to the dollar. As at yesterday, you know, the 17th of October, Bank of Ghana, a rate of milizi and so a dollar was going for 10 CDs, 70 pesos, but the buying rate was 10 CD, 69 pesos. So this was the exchange rate as at yesterday. But then, share 1 year when Akufo-Addo was in power to now, and 1 year ago, the same dollar was somewhere around 15, 16 cities. And this definitely, you know, amount for any Agyapong. But then the main issue here is in summer the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Ode Akwako Tuja Ewa Bruchimemua party say, "Sisi ano de almost share economy, na almost share economy no. They believe that very soon Ghana will leave the IMF." Now, there's a video involved, but then let's read this particular thing and see a bit to us. So, also Ghana on track to exit IMF in 2026, Bank of Ghana, BOG governor. Also, Ghana is well positioned to exit the International Monetary Fund's 53 billion extended credit facility program. Also, so say extended facility program when it ends in May 2026, says Johnson Pandit Isiama, Bank of Ghana governor. Governor Isiama said the country has started running ahead of program targets on virtually all indicators, demonstrating a strong economic turnaround from the challenges experienced in the past few years. So what he's saying is that currently, you know, Ghana IMF program program it is going to end in May next year, ending next year, May 2026. No, we have the opportunity as a country to renew it. See, ebe could be so akọ for another program. But Pache said, "Send an email corner, you beat me if you program." And this is the first time Mahama is openly because Mahama in the D can Edgar na IMF and they see and also Akufo-Addo or better associate on their own IMF. So things are really looking good for Ghana in that regard. But you could see in some Bank of Ghana governor Eddie Tuja in regards with this particular news abe top no so ye buy better also.
Dr. Asiama Johnson, if I may, welcome to this Governor Talk series.
Thank you.
Please welcome, you know, really very grateful that you're here to answer questions. Governor, I wanted to ask you to this event today because, you know, you're inheriting an economy that has been gone through a lot in recent years. You know, through the end of 2024, we've seen a lot of volatility in financial market prices. Of course, there's the broader challenges of the economy emerging from significant debt restructuring and all the other shocks in recent years.
Right.
Not to mention quite a bit of exchange rate pressure. How have you taken the first few months in office? What do you see as the big challenges, and you know, how are you confronting them?
Well, thank you very much, Abebe, and thank you for having me. It's been 8 months since we came into office, and just as you said, we came to meet a challenged economy. A challenged economy in the sense that remember, we had the domestic debt, you know, issue in 2022. Fiscal policy was highly expansionary. It led to us exiting the international financial markets. There was resort to domestic financing. You remember all the sovereign downgrades that we had to suffer. And so we came into office with lots of liquidity, high inflation, exchange rate that was, you know, depreciating widely. And I remember when we came in, there was talk about whether we should, you know, cancel the program altogether. There were doubts as to whether we would be able to, you know, carry on with the program and end it. But I'm happy to say that 8 months down the road, we have turned the corner. Ghana is back. Inflation, we met it at nearly 24%. Currently, it's down to 9.4%. We have seen a strong rebound in growth. We are running ahead of program targets for the year on almost everything. You name it, inflation, reserves build-up, economic growth. We are running ahead, and we are happy to announce that we will be able to exit the fund program come next year. And so far, so good. First 8 months has been revealing. We think that we have done a good job. We are getting all the upgrades from our rating agencies, which shows clearly that we are on the right path. Let me also take the opportunity to thank the IMF for the support. We've had tremendous policy support. They've worked with us in this journey, and we intend to stay to go along with them.
Thank you, Johnson. You know, inflation, of course, is the most important focus for a central bank. And one of the things we've observed, and as you noted, has been the deceleration in inflation in recent months. Can I ask, did you have to, one of the first things you had to do was to tighten, or you had inherited a sufficiently tight monetary policy stance? What other actions did you take to get inflation to get to your target range?
So when we came in, we saw that we had to do a number of things. Even the entire monetary policy framework needed to be upgraded. We needed to strengthen the credibility of the central bank. There was a lot of liquidity, that had built up, and so we needed to do lots of sterilization. We also needed the complementary, efforts from the fiscal authorities, and so we had to engage the fiscal authorities at the same time. And then you also needed to look at food prices. So it was a complementary effort across all fronts that has helped to, deliver the disinflation we are looking at. But we give a lot of credit to the tight monetary policy stance we have preserved. Currently, even though we are easing, we are still holding that anchor very strong. Strong liquidity management, strong sterilization. For that, we will not compromise, even as we ease downward.
Maintaining such a monetary policy stance cannot have been easy. Huh? I'm sure questions must have been raised.
Very much so. The cost to the central bank's balance sheet has been immense. To give you an idea, almost stock currently is around 85 billion Ghana cedis. And out of that, the sterilization we have done this year alone accounts for about 65 billion. And so, yes. But there's a price to stabilization. There's a cost to stabilization. We are in discussions with the fiscal authorities for them to assist us, probably to pick up part of that cost. But as they always say, stability is a public good. When there's macroeconomic stability, there's a cost to it. Someone needs to pay for it. So far, we are in that discussion. Because remember, at the beginning, I made that point that I needed to rebuild the balance sheet of the central bank. As you are aware, we came in to meet a bank that was, hardly, solvent policy-wise. And so that is also being tackled alongside the stability that we have.
In addition to the impact on the profitability of the bank, there must be some impact on credit growth to the private sector also.
Very much so.
How is that evolving right now in this relatively tight monetary policy environment?
So we have seen some private sector credit saw some decline. And to put it into context, when you relate it to
the level decline or just the rate of growth?
We saw some rate of growth, decline in the rate of growth. But that aside, it is a fact that compared to our peers, private sector credit is the lowest, among our peers. It's one of the things we are looking at. You have a growing youth population. You have women-owned businesses that need to be supported with credit. And so going down the road, we are looking at ways to enhance that. But remember also that the non-performing loans ratio, for banks, we came to meet at a very high level. And so we are controlling that as well. We are urging banks to enhance their risk management frameworks so that even as we scale up private sector credit delivery, we do not worsen, that anchor. But it's something that we are tackling. I was surprised when last week I decided to look at the data We have it disaggregated in terms of women-owned businesses, in terms of the geographical distribution of credit. What is clear is that it's all concentrated around the capital. And then women's own businesses need to have more of such, not to talk about the youth front. And so the focus has to be on some sort of diversifying this range. But that draws us into structural policy. So it's something we'll be working together with. Now that there's a return to macroeconomic stability, this is something, a conversation we will be having together with the fiscal authorities to take this forward.
Thank you for that, Governor. Everybody's talking about gold these days, so I have to ask a question or two on that. Huh?
Yes.
Specifically, maybe we can start with this domestic gold purchase program.
Right.
Can you briefly explain how the setup of gold board, like I guess an analogy for cocoa board,
Yes.
how that is helping the Bank of Ghana to support the buildup of international reserves, what the thinking behind this whole initiative has been?
Right. So it all started from March this year, when decision was made to have a public institution that would be in charge or in control of the purchase, the selling, buying of gold, assaying of gold, export of gold. Why? Because we noticed there were a lot of leakages. There were all kinds of individuals that were involved in buying gold, exporting gold. Now, when those exports were done, the foreign exchange was not returning to the country. And so that's how come Gold Board, which is a public institution, was set up from March this year. Since then, they've done a tremendous job. You can imagine it from March up to probably last week. They've brought in about $8 billion just with this, this short time, span. And that has supported us in terms of our reserves build-up. What we do is we intermediate what comes from their angle, and then the rest goes into our reserves. So yes, the Gold Board framework has been complementary, but that's not to say they don't have their own issues. As an institution that is just starting, there are teething issues that have to be addressed. But we emphasize responsible gold sourcing, and we made it clear to them. So when they export, the foreign exchange accrues to the central bank. And so we intermediate the FX. And so it's like a revolving kind of fund that we operate. And I think so far it's been complementary, helping us to build our reserves.
So the FX...
So that was a Bank of Ghana governor in some of the two dries. So Ghana is on track to leave the IMF by May 2026. Now, quickly, you're moving on to this particular issue. Minoka say the OSP is in hot waters. Or share subsequent updates. Now, earlier updates at the buyer. You saw the likes of Kevin Taylor questioning the ability and answer the work in general of a year. Kisie Jabin, the office, the person, and as the OSP or in charge of the office of the special prosecutor. Now, Ningna say, Obayan, Untimi Yashie, or Chinewejai, and Ghanaians want action. And also, one issue which has to do with the extradition of Kenufrata to Ghana, a Kamia Kwesa, his coordination and a link working with a year. Attorney General Dr. Yini is not really going on well as planned. But then, aside from all of these things, to one issue about top news, said the office of the special prosecutor, he has been sued by one person. All claiming said all these while, he has been extorted. So extortion, and say, Ibia, me no ewa asem na asem meet me bu. I was here the court. Okay, maybe I mean I'm more upper hand. Me na me prosecutor, and I mean I'm me courts. And as I mean, I'm a judge. Na mababe catch us. Oh, you see, na assembling kebi mau. And that is exactly what this particular person, in this case, or alleged. In fact, share your screens so it is just a sequence of these back and forth court with a year, pay or the tuja. You could see clearly say issues. Now, we will not read all of these court rate because at the end of the day, it is something that does yipa. So rather head to the website. But before I go website, let us put this on the screens for you to know exactly what is really going on in terms of Kisie Jabin. I can tell you, say Kisie Jabin this week is not a good week for him at all because I just saw for Honor or Pa Acho say Yene Mahaman Kasa need to me man more time to actually do his thing. It was a breaking news. The OSP has been sued by one of their victims on claims of extortion. They are yet to file their defense despite all the lawyers they have in their disposal. So that is the case. So quickly, what is going on here. Yanko the Guardian newspaper, share in some of the Guardian, they were talking about this particular issue. Also, OSP sued for extortion and human rights violations of a client. Or say, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has been dragged to court by one of his alleged victims, Jacob Kwamina Amwa, who claims he was unlawfully detained, as extorted, and subjected to psychological trauma by operatives of the state in a coordinated scheme involving lawyers and the national security officers. So this is the man that OSU, the OSP, airport say, it was making office at the long run, and I say in the course of this particular report, so I'm sure we'll know what it is. Also, Amwa, a former coordinator of the Unified Petroleum Fund, UPPF, at the National Petroleum Authority, has filed a motion at the Human Rights Division of the High Court in Accra, accusing the OSP and other state institutions of breaching its fundamental human rights. The case, which has attracted growing public interest, lists 5 respondents: lawyer Kwabena Agyapong, Edgar Asamoah Boateng, and the National Intelligence Bureau (NIB) and the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General. So he's suing these people. The 2 people who are lawyers, Bakuya lawyer Kwabena Agyapong and Bakuya Edgar Asamoah Boateng, together with the NIB, that's the National Intelligence Bureau, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor, together with the Attorney General. So these are the 5 entities that Papi issue. It goes on to say, according to court documents cited by the Daily Gist, Amwa is seeking a series of declarations and orders, including a punitive and compensatory damages and for alleged violations of his constitutional rights to liberty, fair trial, and freedom of movement. You see, an OSiki say, as a OSP, no man fa kwan paso, it no OSiki, a compensatory damages. Say, yemma niska. For the idea, and a punitive entry, a friend is saying OSP ni Attorney General ason. And I also know at the end of the day, yen kan sam na sanko fui o ma yetia ono ni fan hudi no na yen to aso aha. He's also demanding reimbursement of medical expenses incurred as a result of what he describes as psychological trauma and emotional distress caused by his detention and treatment at the state. Into a party say, Ebra, ya che no obeyari serious na opese yentua saaka na Ebra oyare no ko hospital boy ni nyina yentua. So the case stems from an investigation the OSP launched in February 2025 into the alleged embezzlement of 1.3 million Ghana cedis from the UPPF at the MPA. In TSA oko a year the National Petroleum Authority, there is a particular subset of what I find the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund (UPPF). Now, a year somewhere in February, I'm launching investigation. OSP launching investigation into this particular entity. A year the UPPF. It's in what really happened. Yanko, to us. So during a press conference, the Special Prosecutor reportedly named Amwa as one of the key persons of interest. Shortly after the announcement, Amwa alleges he was contacted by lawyers of Kwabena Agyapong, a former petroleum executive who offered to present him in the OSP investigation. He claims that Agyapong advised him to avoid discussing the matter with third parties, including other lawyers, and introduced him to a man identified as Edgar Asamoah Boateng, who forcefully claimed to be an operative at the National Investigation Bureau. The 2 men, according to Amwa, assured him they will resolve the issue with the OSP, but instead confined him to an apartment at the Crystal Homes in Laboni under the pretext of providing protective custody. He was allegedly denied access to his legal counsel, communication, and freedom of movement during the period. Into a part say, Ebra OSP announces an investigation into UPPF, National Petroleum Authority, over some corruption-related activities as his kana 1.3 million Ghana cedis misappropriation of funds ska ye blue anasa ayira na ye ntimi embu ho akonta or say OSP ebe yes announcement and check and nkofo mienu bi friend baako nipa baako friend ye lawyer Kwabena Agyapong na lawyer Kwabena Agyapong ka chen so oye former MPA ye friend is executive na opese okache ni say all this one na nsem na ekoso no obebo modin na waboa no it case mema no oni obi ankasa and Chibia na or introducing it to Papa for Fry friend Edgar Asamoah Boateng. Edgar Asamoah Boateng kan so onu kra ni National Investigation Bureau na ye adwuma enti no ombeboa no echi e na omo fa no e de no ko share efie bi e wo East Legon the Crystal Homes e no mka so ye protect say na be at the end of the day no obia embe hamil. So that was what they told him. Yen to aso or say in his affidavit, Amoah recounts on February 15, 2025, he was arrested by officers claiming to be from the NIB and detained at the Bureau premises in Kwaukudi near Kanda in Accra. He alleged that he was not informed of the reason for his arrest and was denied food and water and was not allowed to contact his family or secure independent legal representation. Despite being unwell, he claims he was interrogated for hours and coerced into writing a predetermined caution statement. He remained in detention for 48 hours contrary to constitutional limits before being handed over to the OSP on 17 February 2025 for further question. Amoah says he was finally released on bail and it became apparent that his health was deteriorating. So ebra ye che no any nkofo ne kaso omu detain no for a year investigation echi no and omu force na ma ne church ne me bia enim statement a onim ho hwe ate ase and ye san so ye che for almost 2 days ya ma ne mpi ya ma na mfro bia ya ma na friend lawyers. After 2 days, no, and na omudinema OSP on the 17th, no, and na OSP whom se pay as and home fan into ye man bill and ye man bill. I was also to say, he was later instructed to report back to the OSP with further investigation, but by that time he claims to have suffered anxiety, insomnia, and post-traumatic stress disorder, for which he's been receiving treatment at the Trust Specialist Hospital since March 2025. Into a part say, a bro moche no na release no obeyare no ntimi nda no or say PTSD say bibia to a okaipe na oyima show aside from that too na ontimi nda and na say kakra na ehu abon and anxiety into a say oko hospital a year Trust Specialist Hospital since March 2025. Claims of extortion, and collusion. It was the applicant further alleges that the first and second respondent lawyers, Edubuahini and Boateng, acted in consent with officers of the NIB and OSP to extort money from him under the guise of securing his release and influencing the outcome of the investigation. He maintains that despite formally reporting this alleged extortion to the OSP Director of Investigations, no actions has been taken. According to his legal team led by Kosa Inaka Law, the conduct of the respondents constituted to deliberate and calculated conspiracy to infringe upon his fundamental rights under 1992 Constitution. They argue that the state cannot sacrifice the rule of law for prosecutorial convenience and must be held accountable for its action. So, omo pa say e bra sa lawyers 2 years omo ba and pa say ombe boa no ni amani bill corporate sika wo so tua na ebitima ye na ebitima ye hu bibi na say sika no above from near there no pa say all these things are not cost no na extortion. What I said, they were extorting from him under the guy say ultimately, so this is one of the major issues omujina so just say just omude charge say ano ode sobuakoma ode akobo the OSP say OSP just say nsema ekoso no at the end of the day just say oma extorted from him. It for him try once again yen check Countryman Songo the video I didn't to trouble yemba baka you were breaking news about Chief Justice say an sankoko say my swear the new appointed Chief Justice Bafo Boni in office.
On say eba say wunya appointment Ghana for catch na say wo painting we jibi for pana say because obe post ntina akotena TV so na o cassette demonstration. This is the moment amenya me ma ye demonstration wa cassette ya say na ope blasters assistant coach wa jimi pa wo ye jimi pa kwa sia bema wo ye nyan wate me na me catch na wo betimi ay assistant coach ama blasters ayi on say ye say abotre ewie man kunimdi me nya abotre wa wo kotena TV so me ma ye demonstration efa football enkoyie obetena asia na nka wo ka trash ojai in the professional wo num kan wate wo nya nya wo painting me na me catch concept guy Sana ya frena catch and say ya be ma post enti kwasi asem bia ko catch the demonstrators no eno obeka san kwasi asem no TV so kire and now person we blasters and now we blasters assistant 3 coach finye nyankan kan what some basa no some way more somebody professional to make sure say or national team more professional we are no some basa no some problem no some say oh cancer akwa we unsama ye ne na me sheda na be ye din di man. This is the moment. On go player uti Bob Blasters on go uko West Ham on go what show who sa uko tina TV so yeah demonstration uni assembly aka ye din klasi ni ti say ufin professional who timi ko tina TV so say yeah demonstration in papa say now the propose.
It's for you back to a Countryman Songo name 7 but straight up let us check what is really going on with Chief Justice. Me no can say Chief Justice Akko Court. Sorry, the former Chief Justice get you talk on Akko Court. Mahama new appointed Chief Justice no. Mami a party say court should stop Mahama from appointing a new Chief Justice. At this time, we are all tired. See, akwa say obi afa we juma, na nipa na wafa we juma no. Juma na nipa ne fa wo no aye boss no. Bibi esi na boss ni yi di. Na boss no se bio oni ho biem. Na boss fro aba na boss fro ne say, "Niye bi a wo ye during the past time no. Anase ebra na former boss or do usie or ma opposition no. Niye mi bi a wo ye enko yi nti we yi wedi. Simple, let it be. But this woman is fighting or fight. It's like you trying to change the name of Ghana. And you're possible. But still she's fighting. Mahama, in some nearby a petition the Chief Justice, why ye me be a boom bra, say or kwa brochi or the family members ako, and now or their shen kratemu, say a year. Bonus anase esgracia anase sika edbe man pedie me edbe man no anka onu nkwa na ebia se bi okọ abruchi no kodi hotel as a Chief Justice na ebebo onu nkwa ne ho ka ode ne kunu ode ne mba eka ho a che se hotel omko da nyina eka ho and according to petitioner no party se sanema no chese we boom brass because obi na ye be ni di but who Chief Justice so ye na we see yi we di ultimately the petition we buy and mama for the petition no Emma the Council of State. Okay, I'm a Council of State or Mushimuno, or see indeed woman, I was here sacking. That was recommendation. And I'm a Mahama sacking. Yes, till this woman comes in again. At this moment, Susa Ama case no already we are tired. But then that's sorry, yeah. Mahama we saw appointing a new Chief Justice. Chief Justice Bafo Boni no. Mami ni buwe fusa adding to Mahama appointing a new Chief Justice. Abrana Semien King. That's sorry, yeah. And we sue again from we sue Mahama and the new Chief Justice from being appointed. Into share the whole screen so or say talk on new files application seeking to stop appointment of Bafo Boni as Chief Justice. So now no baby a case na could you know this woman is going in all out and according to any movements that it's like see ye made Mahama ye made it. You see and what else do I have to lose? I should keep on fighting till because me samitnasia ye made it. But me kuku BBC, you see, an audience na san court. But then here's the catch. Honestly, uba down now share a court rates now a what has say now. Almost 278 pages. Then we are tired. But then we'll break it down and then we'll just take the necessary portion from Ghana with the summary, you know. Na yentro aso with in Semfo for. Also, the former Chief Justice Gertrude Arabasaki Thokonu has filed a judicial review application seeking to stop possible consideration and appointment of Bafo Boni as the new Chief Justice of Ghana. According to reports by the law platform, the application filed through her lawyer Kwabena Edukusi on Thursday, October 16, 2025, submitted 2 reports to support her legal challenge. Tisiano, Chief Justice get to talk on official who filed say, "Yen stop Mahama from swearing in this new Chief Justice Bafo Boni." And as you see, a lawyer, a friend, the lawyer, a friend, Kwabena Edukusi, no, what the 2 reports are bas, 2 reports, no, mudi engine so. Also, one of the reports is said from one of the reports is from a committee chaired by Justice Dr. Owusu Dapa and the other from the National Signals Bureau. Both reports identify Francis Baden, a judicial judicial service staff member in charge of the e-justice system as the prime suspect in tampering of judicial documents. Or part says, see, Madam Chief Justice, or part say documents be or wa ye di ni di and as ye share so the investigation or some investigation obi or war a year the judicial obi or judicial staff service staff I friend a year Francis Baden system you operate a year electronic justice system online keep records no or the nesa koka I say it's in what tamper with judicial documents. Tokoni argues it is illogical and irrational to remove her from office for transferring Baden after evidence showed he was involved in tampering with documents in the Agyapong case. Into talk air party say sisi ano irrational see be ye be nefi a sa Baden or see is illogical see be nefi dear so a brass are Baden we no see ye who say what temper with evidence as our evidence no is in relation to the Agyapong case. You maintain that Justice Puang Man committee still recommended her removal despite evidence. She also points out that Justice Balfour Boni transferred judges when he became acting Chief Justice. In her view, it is unfair that her transfer decision is being treated as a removal offense while similar actions by Balfour Boni were not questioned. To a party, see any unit, yen show a year current upcoming Chief Justice, no, and also a bra ye transfer no na say unit, the current Chief Justice, no, and also transfer judges na a bra na or acting Chief Justice. What you say? Judges or transfer ye sa particular committee no more this asem no so no e boom bra inti ade inti ne be yi need for ade a waya yese enye na acting Chief Justice na Balfour Boni wa similar thing by transferring judges but still na yenye ne hwe yen bra down ho na FNC. I say in a view it is unfair that a transfer decision is being treated as a removal offense while similar actions by Balfour Boni were not questioned. Tokonu is therefore challenging the both committee reasoning and the president's reliance on its recommendation. In essence, she argues that removal is unfair and based on flawed reasoning. So that is it. You see, an opportunity say send an yema corner the ninja home because Boni na ye kase case be na odino and a committee be or recommend and or transfer judges from that particular committee. Sina be in favor of a particular candidate. No, Balfour Boni the same thing. Meanwhile, Balfour Boni or that so etia dieswa obisa say adinti na sa nema ni nyina ekos. So this is one of the things that original so ameno ka say or ka sisi an be yanka yen saki and I stop they putting in charge of this particular new Chief Justice for what Chief Justice get to talk on Chief Justice Boni or stop it and my swear in new Justice Balfour Boni because Nyama na so Boni e dia bono no papa no so ono so aye the same. It's a fight. It is a elkoswa odwen ho a ontiase. Now quickly let's move on from this issue near moving on to the camp of the National Democratic Congress because unlike MPP the party seem clueless, directionless, and also I said there's no leader and there's no sense of direction. With the National Democratic Congress, there is sense of direction, there's discipline, and there's a leader and rule of law works because that's already Abronye can be before Untumi can be before party chairman can be before Agyapong can be before NDC who can so and nothing as see an suspending an NDC chairman for instance according to the party saying some he has no legal right to do this and not to say this. Now didn't read this because very soon a year sacking letter and the two screens so I say Raymond I say the former constituency chairman Honorable David Walter Yahomenu has been suspended from the NDC. His crime for saying NDC must reward the loyalty of Krobos with good roots. In some pay Kokanya sacking and say or pass a Krobo for trauma NDC for almost decades. Omuntoma MPP da okay and then same way nyina ekoso no as a Krobo for nya ahwenti o ka se Krobo for NDC was some rode Krobo loyalty of Krobos for voting for them and Krobo for the be voting more no or say aban NDC rode with good roots. What is wrong with what he said? Because we are Krobo NDC, so we don't deserve a good road too because people of Krobo don't pay tax. Why should NDC leadership in Krobo think that the demonstration by Krobo youth disturbs the president? Was the recent reaction from Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando when health workers demonstrated on the unpaid salaries for 10 months? Are we no longer practicing democracy under GM? Anybody who tries to bring down the efforts of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will go down first. What this means in NDC is that NDC Lower Menya Krobo doesn't want JM's name on Krobo Road. This is a legacy theme for JM, and he must have a footprint in Lower Manya Krobo. Honorable Fifi Kwete, it looks like the NDC leadership in Lower Manya Krobo is not aligned with the vision of the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So, purchase a former constituency chairman, a friend David Walther, and some workers say NDC for some raw de Krobo for or more true about consistently, ama NDC with good rules and on a party that omoyini. But then we have a copy of this particular letter, a buyer NSAC letter. No, I think say it's a bit blurry here, but then we'll try as much as possible to read it. We are near to us. Or say suspension of Mr. David Walter Homenu. This came from the National Democratic Congress, the Lower Menya Krobo constituency. Or say the Constituency Executive Committee, that is CEC of the National Democratic Congress, Lower Menya Krobo. At this meeting held on Wednesday, the 16th of October 2025, has suspended you forthwith as a member of party pursuant to Article 41 Clause 1 and 46 Clause 8b of the party constitution for your persistent anti-party conduct. You see, I let this particular chairman, you see, you need, your party, maybe a while, or tired, they be okay against the NDC party suspended. The matter has been referred to the Constituency Disciplinary Committee of the party for further action. You are therefore by this letter to take note and notice that in hereby giving that your membership of the NDC suspended pending the hearing and final determination of the disciplinary action against your conduct, I remain yours faithfully, Honorable John Matthew, Constituency Chairman. So, Papa no send me email and say, Mahama, also rewarded a year Krobo 4 with good rules and no. And it is people are actually protesting against this. So clearly, it is one of the things at the end of the day, you could see say people are not really happy with it. Once again, you go take the continuation of Countryman Songo in some more comfort jumping. So you better trust with it.
Blasters assistant coach. And yet Jimmy for way more professional. And now we move it tamo edwire propaganda. We bet my Blasters assistant coach. Kurasi for na no head coach na nkasa no. We trainer scout. One sem fata. Na nim guasia mo beje no. Enim guasia me fa won say ye nyina Ghana for. Wasia sema kwa me mo obi ndin kwasa sema ntira me say ye Ghana for. Taxpayers money. Mabo bada mo ye crazy. Munim ni amoye. Na tam no beso. Manim guasi wanim guasi over Blasters nothing na net here wo pension no we are on obi nyana de kwa ye demonstration anasa jomeboa ye demonstration uni asem kan ye din okwatina TV so na wo ba begu ye demonstrators no ye demonstration na ye na wo begu efin sena wo ikatache no akwa we Jimmy for mu painting Jimmy for we mun enana mu be hu so won semfata na mu nim no nipa na ye din na dia mawo na I won't shift my attention to you wonu trainer scout ni na mo semfata mo ye bomb mo ye kankan national team na nye da mo amu be dwane afri national team Ghana Blasters mo boada ana ket no onyansa chen wan ket how many years ket ni nyansa ye say ne common sense ni na disua ye say a o se nipa bi etimi ma akwa we etimi use e okroma ni how mo di ni peska mo politicians no mo compromise fu kankana mo compromise mo ho no any mo sports minister ntia nanka we di onya match kura ket we nonsense national team taxpayers money ye dituaka ba kwasasam ko na mo di kire o Blasters Ghana ni bia ni nye ho any trainer scout to adu we amakofa na ba mu wie susu a se trainer scout we a wonya de we ye hu no se ni coach ye fun we oniwa ni obetimi a service situation so a mu nkohwe akoa bi amakotam na ba se pent we ni hunya nyai fu kankan we It is not that. A Juman Ankasan won't me. Somebody who is a
And therefore, so that was Countryman Songo in some Kanya. I didn't have to trouble. But straight up, no, you bet back science no so. But yes, shall see for fra na ye twaswa near twaso with in Sema Abetuja. The minority in parliament, they are calling for a year parliament to investigate a case. Now, this particular case is in regards with Nano in Sema Ebaya Sisiano, the communication minister, a year Sam George or the Betuja say, ye share a year Ethel Tiku. Ewo hasiya because bagane wo MTN ye wo Airtel Tigo ne wo MTN Airtel Tigo Telecel, okay, and a Glo and a Airtel any Tigo almost say niaman kuyi so mbe boom and Airtel Tigo. The previous government they approving merger and say two companies will come together. But then me no ka say Airtel Tigo na ebium according to communication minister or person niama enkoyi wo they are making losses near there and no ye ba merge Airtel Tigo with Telecel and Telecel will take over Airtel Tigo. And remember, I said Telecel, so a partly Ghanaian owned, and because of that, minority a raise red flag said, "Deal na air cost no obi and an sasha here to make money." Ye ton company no that obi enyeska and no I was here shame. Yanko share this particular video involved ye ba ye beto aso.
That in January 2018, two private mobile networks operators in Ghana, which is Airtel. And government has 25% in it. And Tigo merged and consolidate resources to improve operation, reduce operational costs, and create a stronger competition. The merger created the country's second largest mobile network operator, which is AT. However, the inability of the new company, AT, to invest in the much needed infrastructure despite their competitor, which is MTN and Vodafone, now Telecel, invest in 4G. 4G technology was still a source of vulnerability to AT. AT could not achieve the goal of the merger as at their operation became unsustainable. Hence, a decision to close operation in Ghana in February 2020. Even though Airtel had indicated that it will consider consolidation of opportunities, including exits in the market where it's not among the top two players. The MPP government, under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, acutely aware that the decision of AT and the cessation of operation in Ghana will have caused substantial loss of jobs to many Ghanaians at the time that the global economy was in turmoil, entered negotiation and reached agreement with AT in April 2021. We therefore remind Telecel that state assets are held in trust for the people of Ghana, not for the benefit of private interest or political expedience. Any company that chooses to be complicit in such an irregular transaction should be prepared to face reputational damage, legal scrutiny, and potential nullification of any agreement entered under such circumstances. Further, it is our position that the whole transaction is unconscionable and failure to desist from engaging in at Airtel's own risks. This is not merely about the sale of a company, it is about protecting national institutions that have served Ghana diligently, nurtured some of the finest talents in the industry, and proving its strategic importance in moments of national crisis. Given this reality, the minority firmly observed that any decision regarding the future of AT must be subject to full parliamentary scrutiny. We are therefore demanding an immediate stop to the current consolidation, acquisition, merger, or transaction. A comprehensive parliamentary inquiry into the circumstances and terms of the proposed consolidation. Full disclosure of all agreements, correspondence, and reports, including the transactional advice recommendations of Afrotex Recton highest and best use of AT Ghana. A high-powered deep insight with ATC to ascertain the level of indebtedness and settle the impasse they have led to the withdrawal of services to AT.
So that is the issue in regards with the Airtel Tigo takeover by Telecel, and minorities raising an alarm. Say we need to know the details of it, because initially the company was doing good, and even any concern raised now was raised in the previous administration, and the then communication minister has also dealt with it effectively, and also Akufo-Addo administration dealt with it. But then they are really shocked. Say the benefit of some people in party, they are moving forward with this. I just said to him, argument and idea it's a Odrian Okra want here, and that is why they want to call for a thorough investigation into the issue. Telecel will take over Tigo. What are the details? Because government have a stake in it. I just say in some way and our air course. Now quickly, moving on to this particular issue. UK to require migrants to pass A-level English test under new 2026 visa rule. So the United Kingdom, over the past few years, a year or two, you say no more tight or more immigration. First, so let's just say UK, see utimi UK waware na okunu ana oyere wo Ghana. Utimi be fa no sisi ano eyi sa nefi ho, and also no at the end of the day uni okunu be fa na just say oba UK okunu be fa ofiga na UK ho a just say wawe ni egu a ultimately spousal visa na cover no, and also no spa I was say oba Ghana. A whole lot of deals, schools or more ma ho kwan say costed ni nyina no ya kate omo applicants let's say timi also we find 10,000 from Africa and say 15,000 international students ya cat be branch say what they are tightening it. And that sorry UK government party no obekọ UK I was say okọ A-level English test, which means say on table for on table for no abruchi any TikTok you dear term is here now, so make sure so be pass English test no one pass here untimi enko and one of the reasons is to make sure say on be bre your friend is saying immigration as immigrants or mabawa or mu take jobs that they don't add any value to their country they are taking it off, and this definitely for especially in your services like cleaning idea or money they are not really educated I think say be quite against them. So this is one of the things I see I think say from 2026 these are the new rules the UK government to be putting into effect, and we need to look at it from a new standpoint. So that is the issue at air course. So now to us me no ka say a new issue about top so the issue about the National Service Authority NSA omo boss I see ECB honorable ECB together with Gifty our remains and a deputy as see and some embezzle funds of almost 700 million Ghana cedis for or say ECB there a kai idea opportunity so over 600 million Ghana cedis whilst deputy Gifty our a kai idea opportunity so over 35 million Ghana cedis. Now, me no can say, we are thinking, say, Attorney General announced charges now. You say, in that Friday, and come on, quarter, give to our remains and a chok, come across and home fund, man. 2 days be now, I just say, on Fandia, we were thinking, it's like MP before the boost, just like what they did for Wuntumi Abronye and Co. But then, seeing some Ellen Amadak, who is a special aid to the Tabao, the Ababe to your party, say, because of something. Or say the former NSA boss and his deputies should defend themselves in court. If they are truly guilty, the prisons are there for us all. Unlike the Wuntumi case, any Abronye case, any one more party say this time around sisi ano court ni wo se omunye boni bia omun defend omo ho ane se boni no boni na ye so boni ye da bo omo ye guilty so ultimately the prisons no wo ho ma ye nyina double standards ni na ye hwe de omo kan ye wo ha say because we tried to get the video we couldn't get say NSA payroll scandal MPP's Amadaku gives verdict on charges against accused. A member of the New Patriotic Party communication team, Ellen Amadaku, has reacted to the criminal charges filed by the state against the former top directors of the National Service Authority, or Osei Entry and Gifty or Mensah. According to her, the charges against the two individuals, with Osei Entry facing 14 counts for his alleged role in financial losses, and Gifty Oware Mensah facing 5 counts, including stealing and money laundering, do not seem to be in their favor. So according to Allen Amadako, party say, no, but Oshen same way pa, unlike a year chema to me dear any abronya dear no one case we know it is not going in favor of Osei and a year Gifty Oware Mensah. She raised concerns about the amount of money the two individuals have allegedly been accused of misappropriating, adding that it is only right for them to defend themselves in court. Speaking on GH1 on Wednesday, October 15, 2025, she said, when you react to the charge sheets or when you read a charge sheet, it definitely doesn't look too good. So I'm very happy that they have the opportunity to defend themselves. The monies are huge. We are talking about 700 million Ghana cedis here. They have to defend themselves. Amadaku, in her view, maintained that the court action initiated against the two former appointees provides them with the opportunity to defend themselves and possibly clear their names through the court's verdicts. I don't think it's much ado about nothing to be slapped with such cases as a Ghanaian, and it's a dent on your image. So you have the opportunity, and in fact you have the mandate to go to court and defend yourself. These rumors have been going around for quite a while about the former administrators of the National Service. So for me, I just think it's right for them to be given the opportunity to go and defend themselves, knowing the two of them, I do know them, they will defend themselves, she said. So basically, Sansim we and the two horses, you see, and baby adna eduni de, I was say, Omukonom could defend. But can we be all the last part? I'll say, if truly they have taken our money, as for the jail, is there for us all. But then if you have not, I think we should also give them a very fair trial, and let them defend themselves, she added. So, or Pacha says, Scan or Mafadia, and you jail, no, and this is in sharp contrast to the reactioner, which was another same receptioner Chemahun to me any Abronia received when they were actually arrested in court. I just say you could see clearly here say MPP Nisiano Omubro Mechi in regards with Edubuahin case, in regards with this case, this NSS case, no, or match to share a Bronya case, no, any a year. Apart from a Bronya case, apart from a year Good Evening Ghana Poladomochi case, any a year to me case, so the MPP is actually not going to demonstrate for any person in court. It is a wash in same way a yadia a boom per year. Now, Menoka say, he named say MPP for almost stronghold at Ashanti region. Menoka say, Mami be Eden Simbia Babe to just for years. MPP have taken advantage of the Ashanti people in Tankabeya, Ashanti 4, almost starting Shebi before. I didn't know woman you can encourage video about back to us.
Did you know Asante for no? Muntie ne make. Mama ye ni na wo ton. Na wo ton kwadu anu ayi ni America. Ye so re se ye dia ne Ye dia betra so mfi nwotwe ntimi anyo hu amaye. Papa ye mo so ye tani so ba ye. Musumi nwotwe nkunu ne hwe ni nyuma wa ye. Ye ne ebu ye bo so ta okwadu anu ayi ni America. Enti mini Asante ne yenka no krenkyere ye hu. Enti esase yempe ndis no enti no oye papa kra no yempe. Edi ne akire. Hwe America ye ni mo nya ye ntete niema no enti wo watwai maame no ma watwai maame no ha mo ma wakunkum sa nkurasesam kasa no nyai. Na America na ni mo bia pese epempuntu. Edi ne Ghana. Ye si edi kuru abakura beso hye na MPP atare ebeto ama nimpa ko ka wajimu nim nyansa. Precious lady many bra na media temo. Si edi kuru abakura beso wa beto abama no. They say the kraman kran so bet no a o hye MPP atare nko ano a. Enti MPP ya de na nya untiminka. NDC ya de na nya untiminka. ade ne etre o man mu ade na mani nipa ani briksa obi de busume nkuna ba ye ne mfie nwotwe obi antimi anye still mo na baso ade nto ye tani ade nto ye dia ne ye dia entidi yen udia one udia na ye den enkwa ye de na ye den ade na mogie mo bia se kire nka kire enka no kire nkire mo ade na ye dia mo de mo mpentum mpuntu aye mo binum de pempuntu o mo kama no ntum na ohwe to ne na pamfo o mo ni dwuma mai na munya sa ye dia ne ye dia NDC MPP de ye o mitumu ye twa me fruma entidi ye twa ofruma ewo mu a ene ka wano tum menni atam mennya propaganda bia entwitwa nkontompo enni atam fu atam tantan mom yanka no kranche ye ho na ya afre ho akanfo ne asantefo no ye mu bi mu dwi ye ho dodo ye mu bi mu dwi ye ho mum pempuntu t-shirt na mope ebi na wo mo kan no ashanti ready there ne wo mo pa won ne bie no ani t-shirt t-shirt na obo nyuma ye dem o ma wa wie na de oye winna mo hwe bibi yo ne mpuntu su hia t-shirt acha usia 3 months na ni anwan ene na odi t-shirt yi ai di t-shirt adada mama kwan ya kwan nyina asese ya kwan nyina asese ene nyuma ye dada mo ama ya kwan nyina asese bi na mun kama no ntum na onye nadwuma mumu bi no mu dwie modondo e de be politics tantan no mo fama so kono ane anwere ya
Inti momi ni buofu pa opache se na no leak of due ba ya gabi ochida ko kokan e wo USA Oshia ebi mo nenam ena omo ka se in response not respond this ebi mo nenam no mo say MPP for man nye bibia ama asante for no so ebra na Akufo-Addo wo power no omo frɛ MPP MPs na ebi sa omo say de na mo pɛ ena MPP MPs say o ye de empe flyover o ye empe circle Dubai interchange no ma ye wa Accra no ye de mungu ye kwan no so mo nya kwan keke mai ma mo nyi build schools ma mo nya kwan keke eno ena momi party say sisi ano de bibia de ni du ni de mo nye sa because ye de Asante for MPP sa ena nkofo omu bu ye kwasea otie na anu nsem obi kokan say Asante for de sebi o de o shekra man kra MPP t-shirt e be vote ama na mommy say Jimmy say Jimmy no yenjai. Meanwhile I have some a bit of shout outs to do. I'm shouting out to Rose Rukaya. She's been watching us all this time on Kenneth Oklu 5211. They've been watching us almost every time. It's, these two guys, Medamasi Yipa, and some comments about from Kojo Owusu. Or say this man, he was talking about Countryman Songo. Anyway, if he Gamel Boache, or say every bad thing comes from your mouth. Oh, I don't think far. That's not kasa about Countryman Songo. This here quarter dinner corner. And away from 9636. Or say this guy needs to go to jail to serve as a deterrent to others. Journalists should not behave like this. He once insulted Coach Akwesi Appiah so bad. So bad. And from farm say jelly your friend is a Countryman Songo. So mpacho mbeti me dem comment aba ubo din so amia mema shout out so atima say a live video and wa ha say. Now let's move on to other matters. Mineuka say Agyapong's campaign edu the northern parts of Ghana, but then there's something which is happening now shocking a lot of people. Mineuka say obi or Agyapong the campaign team no ho or the simbi ababe tuja say you see she Agyapong say my microphone tiase. According to him no Ken no onye just a businessman, okay, or you be see be hwe ni business acumen ne how ye ne politics yebitima ka sisi ano oye Ghana ye nipo yebitim na toto no Donald Trump. In fact, don't take my word for it. We have a video here to prove this particular case. Clearly, you could see say campaign na ekoso to Agyapong any team ni there. They believe that they can win, and see ano or make change message and say the new Trump in Ghana Kennedy Agyapong Trump hodo and the Bible Sunday. I share this particular video. Ye babaka ye beto aso.
John. Na utibi tie ba omiafo no ye debate bi say ye adwuma na ken kritia nka wo say Dangote Nigeria president. Are they your communicators? I want to meet such people. Sir John, Trump is a businessman and a politician. Why a president?
Yeah.
Dan Kote is not a politician. This is a common sense. You people don't know how to debate and communicate. Elon Musk or a politician. Your friends, Microsoft, the way what is it? Or a politician. And it's obi say obi banu obi to me a creative job. Or say you nunti dia cause Dan Kote. Common sense. This is a childish debate. But Kennedy Agyapong is a politician and a businessman. Such person here. So it's a fact. Trump is a politician and a businessman. Now we'll be quite for Kennedy Agyapong to Trump. And for them to don't because don't go on your politics. On Nigerian politicians. It is your job, Mr. Kennedy Adeba. A Jumano son of it creative. It is out to one who caucus and pa. Then convince you bina konase. Say,
Nurse if we are Omugu Abansu.
Say John, say sa agenda one way. It is one of the best initiatives.
Yeah.
How many hospitals?
One. I was 100 and.
Say John, it is you remove 50. Sankrofo musi ebeba. The only person you can do is Kennedy Agyapong. I'm telling you the fact. Now to cry him son a bit. Say you're tiny now to cry him son of it. Say John, the factories, they are far less than 100. Say John,
And that nurse if we.
Jumani happen in Ghana.
And that nurse if we.
And I say Ghana for so.
And no more demonstration.
Idea obey or better now. And I make sure say, Yan Twaban Kennedy Agyapong.
Sani many not to be trapped.
Say Oba, Sadio in be ended. Kojo, a Jumani bet me a bar. Unye obi o create more jobs within on 1 year. Enyuma ye no dodo na wose ye wa. Okay. On say wakoji land o baby a obesi pharmaceutical yi big one where away. Say no kro wi ebefa o ma kan ebefa ni pase. This is the man we are talking about. Yes obejina na aban sika no wo de bia wo tuaka. Fa bi create nyuma no wa.
So that is the argument. Omumeki Siasa. Let's compare Kennedy Agyapong to Trump. Now let's pick these two comments in also. We feel Bruno Bani 1330. I say Ken Trump Traore. Into a see and compare. We compare Kennedy Agyapong to Trump. We compare Kennedy Agyapong to Traore. Again, on also say Ken is a successful businessman and a successful politician with a vision. So clearly, in some Kennedy Agyapong Kano, it is in some Omokase Kennedy Agyapong. Young fan to Donald Trump and Ibrahim Traore. It makes sense that people are by them with it, but then to some it doesn't make sense because Abronye Edin Simbi Ababe Tuja. Now Abronye a part say Kennedy Agyapong they be operating who said not only a bemu, but then he held a position at Ghana Gas and a Ghana Gas board chair together with Ernesto Usu Bempa and then Kwame Sefa-Kine. Omunyina an appointment no President Akufo-Addo and the mom. Now Kennedy Agyapong abeka say Ghana Gas no be 6 months ko board chair no kwatena meeting so baako okokra 2,000 cedis near the man. It can't even feel this petrol. But regardless na Akufo-Addo say onko na onhwese na be nkofo no mu wieska. Na me no ka say Abronya din sembi aba betuja Abronya air patch say ebra na Kennedy Agyapong board chair wo Ghana Gas no before the 2024 elections no o sheda bibi Emma gas price the wokruma ekosro. Kennedy Agyapong and according to Abronye. And this was done by Kennedy Agyapong to make sure say MPP and Bawumia will lose the elections. And these are wild allegations. Now, you can share this particular video of what Abronye said that Menoka say to some people, if this is true, Kennedy Agyapong needs to be investigated.
Say Ghana phone to gas ya ne board ni ya tum 8% said the ebe affected Bawumia na Ghana fu no makoto aba e de atia Bawumia or heda na yes ade no because Ghana gas nyina no na Kennedy Agyapong and na ye board time nti okwa abato na wanya no or panasi MPP for and to two gas mu a ebe ma Ghana fo buafu no mato aba atia MPP into a March 1 November no wa mo mato gas mu November 2024 na kwatia Bawumia owia wa ba be ka kire ye say Bawumia ye bad candidate ye wi yo what say ni video bi o say astrotef nyina no ono na ye Ghana gas board time na Ghana gas fo na ye omo na ye astrotef na omo ho hinti onye producer bo video no Obi a
no. Me na me ye chairman. Ah, Ghana gas make me ami ayamamo. And so me nyadiam. Astrotep no. Me na me ye chairman. Ah, Ghana gas make me ami ayamamo. And so me nyadiam. Astrotep no. Me na me ye chairman. Ah, Ghana gas make me ami ayamamo. And so me nyadiam. Astrotep no. Me na me ye chairman. Ah, Ghana gas make me ami ayamamo. And so me nyadiam. Astrotep no. Me na me ye chairman. Ah, Ghana gas make me ami ayamamo. And so me nyadiam. Astrotep no.
Monty, board chairman Ghana gas. No mo ye astrotep nyina. And so onye. Oso onye ampe before mo ntie no ye. Astrotep wana ukọ constituency bebre na mo pe bebre no. Na Ghana gas ye twesika. Over $200 million from their budget. Ah, almost say Ghana nyina ombe frasi ye astrotep. Canada Japan say omokwa aba no man to amano. Enti onye astrotep no. A whole video ni and now no nam say yemfa sobo no emo Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia wato gas mu ama Ghana fo boafu as a board chairman owie ya budget omukwaje parliament a omude ba ye astrotef no wa mo man tua ka because omutua na so omu ye astrotef no be hweso to aba ma Bawumia nti won tua.
Therefore, these are wild allegations, Abronya Edibetuja, and definitely it needs to be investigated. But then, nevertheless, we have common sense. Agyapong was not the Ghana Gas CEO. He was just a board chair. In terms of Pinaxtv, say, well, hey, now my fine call 4-5, and I find call 4-5. So, mbe chairman, and I'm a board chair. Meeting, but I'm meeting, say my yeka, and I'm also soon a bebwana and that was Ken's position. Ken did not have position to take money, to give out money, to say, yen to gas mu. They be that thing counts even from the ministry. And remember, say ministry, Ghana Gas, it's a ministry, na say. So it's so sad, say some of these narratives are being paraded around that. At the end of the day, I understand, say, politics, and I can see, but then a cheap politics amount for a party, say, abroad, people like you, people listen to you, but obey some say and obia and for serious in this particular country. I just say, and some are so and no. Now, let's move on. For Minokasi, Ghana is actually doing well. Ama Minokasi, the World Bank, Omodin Simbi Ababe Tuja, say Mahama Yembona Baso, and they are saying the whole president in Africa, Yebeka say president or dear power within this for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now I'm not just saying this to say something, I said to appease your friend is saying John Dramani Mahama, a World Bank Ankasa and Omodi Sansem Ababe Tuja. Now this particular thing was said when Atufos in the Ministry of the Finance Minister together with Bank of Ghana, Governor, Dr. Isiama Omuko, Washington DC, US, say Omoko meeting with the World Bank. Now a whole NSN no ABP. I watch a video, but before then, we a report about World Bank tells poverty reduction potential of 24-hour economy big push program. So according to World Bank, Mahama ebidi no almost steady John Dramani Mahama pa, and he can vehemently say papa na mamu anyhow or yen near mano it is sending Ghana in the right direction. This has not happened in the 25-year history since 2000. In the view said Mahama's second coming because inflation is down. Ghana, we are going back to a single-digit inflation, which is in terms of a single-digit dollar to CD ratio, and also no nyama air koso. Now in really quick one, you could see in some at force in Eka. I say Robert Talisio O'Brien, the World Bank country director, on Thursday said the 24-hour economy and the big push policies by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, if well implemented, have the potential of reducing poverty in the country. So they are saying that this particular big push program, MPB4 because 24-hour, one person are put into me 24-hour or parties at 24-hour and say Ghana ye ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama America kra na ye buano na ye nyina yusunso ye ho ye chi kom kakra ne ye nya de hu jima e bitima boa. This World Bank saying here yan kan show ma no ye nto aso ha. Also the programs he noted offered an opportunity to initiate ambitious reforms that would promote broad-based resilient economic growth and job creation. Also to aso say our research shows that ambitious reforms Ghana could more than triple per capita income by 2050, moving it decisively towards upper middle income status, he said at the launch of the 2025 policy notes titled Transforming Ghana into a Generation. So Papa Patch say, you see, a Ghana, you are lower middle income, okay? But some big push, any a year 24-hour economy, any your friend is saying the Bell Road initiative, my any NDC Omdiaban, say Ghana, me ya pa, ne continue on this path. By the year 2050, that is in 25 years' time, no. From now, no, Ghana, you be moving from lower middle income status country to upper middle, which means if you upper middle, ne you call upper. Ne say very soon, if you upper middle now, by 2050, it me do upper middle now, which means if you are, you call the status of Germany, US, and co, and you're upper class. What I say, and as a first class and a world class countries nibi. This is what he said. Regardless, no, ato forcing or also or the same be ababe tuja in regards to this whole thing. All parties say Ghana's recovery, no, actually is firmly on track. In things, sema casa ato forcing or the tuja eba ebe to aso.
The program the outlook looks very good. We have enshrined into law a number of structural reforms that will ensure reversibility, and I believe that Ghana is on track not to reverse the gains that we have made. In conclusion, I want to say that Ghana is on a measurable recovery path, reflecting in the number of things that we are seeing. We are seeing stronger macroeconomic fundamentals. We are seeing our debt levels declining fast. Growth is projected to rebound strongly in the last quarter, driven largely by the private sector and the real sector. Inflation is expected to ease and remain single-digit by end year, even do better by next year. We are on course to achieve our 1.5% of GDP primary surplus by end year.
So this is what a year cast out to force no kind in that same meeting with the World Bank or patches say Ghana and you see no last 2 years last 8 years na man ku ya see we are on recovery I say why area see on no and almost stress na nema corner. It is evidence that very soon the economy of Ghana will be strong, will be resilient, and sebio juma and input to bit my akwaso. So that is exactly what is really going on. But then let's move on. Can Japan edin simbi ababe tuja in Japan some of the ababe tuja patches and saying you ni say assistant and first year man one or baby mouth two in pa but you say nan say no o kan Japan asema umfi ati ase udina tem abonye dina tem akanka obi akan sem ene sebi o kin Japan atem didie ana o kan Japan sem ayefo amamanfo sebi obi oba party me ndi 2 days so si odi ba o mi timi bokin Japan di na tem because he say onim say kin Japan atem didie ana odi kin Japan atem abayefo eja on be responding. Now Ken is explain the reason why he say on be responding or say unity to kin Japan part say he believes he's going to win the 2026 flag bearership race. Owinia obepese baumia team ne obia brancha omu na back together now ahead and omako winning election. You know, so obi did not attempt to respond there. Na winning elections na ofre abronya omba, ofre wuntumi a omba. It say obi did not attempt ye fa nanim FM. Ati ase yenko tin se makini Japan edituja ye babaka ye beto aso.
Mr. Politics na ye no. We want unity in the party. Enti saa atemdidie ni etro no omutwa no. Me lifestyle, you know me. Say I can respond. But for the sake of unity, enti maye din, because no one person can win the flag bearership and win general election if there's no unity. But media, I will give you the message and what I'm going to do. I am talk and do. Me new factory, I'm a fire. Me toy no. 365 workers, 257 from Ashama. Some Munia say, Newmas, saying, and Roma Biamamu, Samunia. Now Muchama Ehiamu, Namu Chirmua, Omuba, Nia Betika Krama, Kotumaya, you are my brother, and they co opposition, Obiabros, Casafa to your basket. I'll tell you the gospel truth. I'll tell you the gospel truth. All those people who are coming to you are telling you, sir, you are my brother, vote for me. Who got to my own brother? We lost miserably. Factors now, my lose and change it won't change. I'm not going to mention it. And like I said, we play tribal or whatever. But those factors won't change. We have to tell you. So if you want power, vote for Kennedy Agyapong to create businesses.
Inti sama Kennedy Agyapong edu tu dwano no. I was stand by what he said. I say ono di oba obeka ndi obeye. On attack you bia. But na no point and I start so attacking about me. I say obi be catch us say and he say, well, politics is indeed a funny game, as you can see. So that is exactly what is really happening in the camp of Kennedy Agyapong. You be read the comment. If you want us to read your comment, just bring in your comment. You be read the amount. Shout out so right here in the comment section. Now, in some day, I'm telling you. Now, recently, Ghana Blasters qualified for the World Cup. It's a good thing. We are all happy. But then the next big thing is getting the players at the World Cup. This is Coach Otuado, who played in 2006 World Cup. Ultimately, obey coach in 2012, and now obey head coach Ama Ghana. But then all these things are a question. One question will be Abisan is, now that we are going to the World Cup, the selection of players, how would it be? And no, players be reject say a year Ghana in the past, talking about a year. Idinkitia Hansen Odoi. A lot of these Ghanaian players are more British, you want more UK, you want more France, you want more Germany, Yeah, from one during the World Cup qualifiers, almost your mumba. If you pay and your margin so beba, but then Ghana qualify pay FIFA be announced and all of a sudden all these players are saying say they are ready to play for Ghana. Yeah, update Bibri home. Now the latest your friend is saying to add his voice. Or not your your friend and ne or beba Francis Amuzu. Now let me give you a story about Francis Amuzu because there's a video involved in Kwakoshe. Francis Amuzu, Obeka say Sapa pay ebra na Ghana ye kwakobo this particular qualifiers no. Ye ko friend no. Ye friend ni Panachosa Ombra. What did he do? He said he won't come. Because you ni team England ne Spanish ne sa big national teams no ombe friend no e hona ohodi allegiance. Now, say omutena ho sa na ultimately ni am from one. Now, Mushene Afidi, ya Fred teams near and from any no master Fred GFA. Now, let's put this on the screen. See, we are near the video involved of what Francis Amuzu Eka. Osha Hasia or say Francis Amuzu, who plays for Brazilian side Grêmio and previously turned down an opportunity to represent Ghana Black Stars, says his heart is set on Ghana, and if the country comes calling for the World Cup, he is ready to play. Now, don't take my words for it. Equity is about Francis Amuzu or the Tuja, ya Babaka, ya Betsuaso.
I came to Belgium when I was 2 years old.
2 years old?
Yeah. Because of my father. He's an ex-football player. So he played in Ghana, in a team in Ghana, and then a Belgium team wanted him, so he came to Belgium. So yeah. Me and my father and my sister and my mother, we traveled to Belgium, and that's why I came to Belgium. And yeah, that's why also I play football because it's a little bit in the blood of my father, so he gave it to me. So yeah.
So you lived most of your life in Belgium, right? Do you keep any connection to Ghana nowadays?
Yes, of course. Ghana is still my first country. I'm born there, so. Yeah, I have some contacts there also with my family and stuff. So yeah, I love Ghana.
You know that Ghana qualified to the World Cup today.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I had to congratulate you for that already, or if should I wait for Belgium's qualification to do it?
No, for me, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm born in Ghana, so yeah, for me, I'm happy that that they are qualified for the World Cup. It's a wonderful tournament also to play. It's one of the biggest tournaments in the world, so yeah, I'm happy that they qualified, and yes.
Is playing a World Cup or playing the next World Cup a goal for you? And have you already decided between Belgium or Ghana, which country would you prefer to represent?
For me, to be honest, at the moment, my heart is really at Ghana. So yeah, if Ghana comes, for sure I will go. And yeah, I hope they can call me. But now my focus is just here at Grêmio to try and perform every game, and then in the future we'll see what happens.
So that was Francis Amuzu. Na yekopo qualifiers so ombra osi omba. Because na Belgium no, na ete say Belgium no feel say Belgium be friend. And de osi na koma ewo Ghana. Itusha osi Francis Amuzu who plays for Brazilian side Grêmio and previously turned down an opportunity to represent Ghana, says his heart is set on Ghana now. Now, Kevin Taylor about my warning. Someone who nim amowo GFA wo mkwa kwa jiji scam the South foreign babies here or more bomb match or be obiamba. It took Partey, it took Jordan Ayew, it took Kudus, it took these guys to sacrifice. Or more big clubs, they had to sacrifice to make Ghana qualify. Now, mun name nam kofo obi say Nippon or boy international club be mkambe hu. This is what Kevin Taylor said. The video about I bet to us.
In him. Now, Matisse and Kofobi kika. And yankofa some fuck boys bimbra Black Stars mu na na san kenya go Black Stars ni bi yase de nketia na de odoi mo bodam wo de o be ma o Black Star ho no mo no de o so e be ma o GFA and de o be ma o Otuado team nim no onkofa so de adoi ne eye de nketia mra e mo Black Star no pasiafo de ayu tifie. He did all the dirty job for you people to get to where you are. Wakasu nyina tifie. They did all the dirty job for people like you to get Black Star jobs. That GFA press secretary said, "Akwana young man na pimpima pano Henry Asante criminals no mojeje nkwasia bribes no. We are waiting for you people." Enkonform be nkwasia adwuma na monkofa nkwasia form titi UK mra so mbo Black Stars. They are kasi edi players. Okwakotokomu players nim. Sa nkofo bienu ya omodi maswa bedru ha omu hubo papa bi omo bono omu player ben omu che no kotoko ne hatim and ya qualify for Black Stars no sorry World Cup no what enkwasiafo bititi sports shows so etiti stupid platform bi so hopes na doye that be sorry adoy ene inketia bi ade coming to Black Star mo bodam na gabi ochida kwan who fin so pro. You people think you can decide for us again yet ya ena gabi ochida ko fa Chris Hutton ba ebeji esika di yenkwasiafo wankasa nende entafo boys na yenkwasi adwuma de Black Star Eco World Cup mo nkwasiafo no mo akamfo nkwasiafo no mo na muni munyansa na mokofa enketia ne ho ahwan aba yeti krom ha na wanye adwuma ne bi obese uko di ice cream mo bodam sa foolish boys we ye from omo se omo mra omo ka je se yenkwasiafo UK no mo free. These foolish boys Bo papa ben no mo bo premiership ni enhwe bi goals say no mo she sa Instagram footballers we. These Instagram footballers, I respect them as footballers, but they cannot be part of this Black Star team. People are from where ebi be prayer niama or a better player chenko fon kwasiafo mienu we niama ebe sacrifice here we pratifie niama na just say no so obobo a enye sika na oje oni abusuafo. All these young men came, they sacrificed. Difficult times, they were working hard. Ye didi o matem. There was this young man during a year Kusiapia and Chris Hutton time. Some fair boy be, a German boy be. And you find by you didn't call AFCON. Young man. On Tigana game no cross say. Inaki Williams mo. These people came. But these boys, upon the pressure, they were coming to play. Some fair boy, very quiet boy. Your friend be oba. One kaseme I am a nice boy. I am playing in Europe. There, Accra way ba. Even though on board ball crowd Ghana until the way I Ghana for your fat ball, Sibia, your TRC, Sibia, your players pressure. This boy, Oko Afcon, ye didi boy, we are telling you that Osaba have a ball. Satana fuck boys way, Instagram boys, we don't way. His name is Kofi. Young boy. On board ball crowd Ghana da. Onim send Ghana for your tibo asi. Onim pressure ye dema Black Stars. Onim this boy. Every call up, Obaye, Mobi. This young man and other young men, they come, call up Crampono, Onyebim, Obetina Kampa, Onyebim, but these people will come back. Now, Kwasiafo way from when we needed points just to even qualify for AFCON, Kwasiafo did not come. We wanted to qualify for just AFCON. Satan, young players, Mama Beboa Ghana, I may qualify. Kwasiafo said they are not going to come. And na de ye be call World Cup na motete akra nkwasiafo and na mafa nkwasia bloggers bitete Joy News ne TV3 ne and na sports 3 sports so there and amaka che say an host na den odoy and nketia mabodam mo de ye tikrom ha. I am telling you, Otuado, you foolishly try and bring these boys to Black Stars and you will see how we will disrespect you and end your career. Black Star there, and you'll be about media, and you'll be about papa dia, a union idea. Sankai heart the anka ubidia, Kotokwa ubidia, now Black Star ne dear. We are not going to allow any fool. Kofichre, enemy team Nekano. He plays for a team in Germany, Freiburg. The boy has been hurt for almost 2 years. Obeye Black Star Sejuma, Yatiti Kromhana Junior Gogomo. Eja bibia be ye djuma ebe bo adjuma mai owu omu we kra nkutuma nkwohwe kwasiafo. This fuck boys.
Inti sama Kevin Taylor no. I think say nipa no ka na asema ko feature no ye the picture ebe to screen so for you to know, for you to see ebi amo kai abranti ye bonichi pa je say nya asem ketwa ye bonichi papa ombe boma ombe boy ya chese anko yidi gu no so din on pekasa ati ase oba no abebo kama ene de ye si yensa yensa su yechi edware enu ti yenkofa sankofu embra me de me use any vulgar words because me tea for beka some pesa but then usha words na Kevin Taylor use ye no so ankenye bad pa. So this is the guy if a guy in picture into screens no so no na obi biara wo hwe what we are talking about. So this is the feature guy or can asem to we mu nyina be we time am call AFCON no e na hwe obe sacrifice e no hwe Ghana JC no we see we prakro tifie because of Ghana Blasters afide say we offer Hansen Adom ni edinketia ana England team from he said say the blood of Ghana and the blood of Black Stars runs through them. Anyways, that is should you BC Nina Ejina Utu. I don't know what I've come out to say Yenfro bia one Yenfro ye boy ni wini ya koye bebo si lusuku beba atiasi because I was say ya dear be ensanda ho amankofo and yes I did be uncle be kwasia. That is exactly what is really going on in regards with this whole issue then koso. Right here. Now, you're moving on. It's here for me no say a year Alanchemantin or the new party or the ban the United Party. Now say United Party we are learning say if the Dankwa Buzia tradition but wakofa and he say and also person revive a whole and MPP 4 impini 4 ka say Dankwa Buzia tradition is still embedded. Okay, and I say a share MPP a funimemu. Inti untimi meyi a mini traditional party in the belly of the MPP say okwati party for fraud. And into the MPP say on the screens no or say MPP considering legal action to stop Alan Chemantin from using United Party as the name for his new party, Tia Kabiri Walewale MP. It is here an MPP 4 said they will sue a friend is saying Alan Chemantin for trying or even threatening to use the word UP because any Alan Chemantin there. Regardless of all of these things are there has been concerns. I mean, the use of Alan Chemantin, the use of the United Party, a very big issue. But in this particular report, why Alan Chemantin can use the term United Party. In video,
Still of the NPP, it is considering legal action to stop Alan Chemantin's newly formed party from adopting the name United Party. Wale MP Tia Kabiru argues that the name choice is problematic and could mislead the public, given the NPP's historical roots in the United Party tradition. The minority MP accuses Alan Chemantin's team of attempting to hide under the flag of the UP tradition, potentially distorting political history. The Wale MP says the NPP will test the name's legitimacy in court, confident of that it has a strong case. Now let's engage the NPP or the MP who has been speaking on this particular matter. First, you said the NPP is headed to court over the use of United Party. You say that you're considering. Tell me whether or not you have arrived at a finality or you have arrived at a final conclusion that you will pursue this. But if you do, what exactly will give the party the legal or moral claim to this name?
Yes, but first and foremost, it is not an NPP decision as a political party. I am only a member of the New Patriotic Party who has been elected on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party to represent the good people of Wale as their lawmaker. And the laws of this country are sacred. And that if there's any potential breach of any law, there's a need to bring finality and clarity to that particular matter so that everyone will be at it. The government of my case is that the United Party was a political party formed on the 13th of October 1957. That party was dissolved following the passage of a law by the National Assembly to make Ghana a one-party state. But the history of the now New Patriotic Party, which was formed somewhere in July 1992, was actually having his roots. It's taking his root from the United Party, led by Abraham Traore, K.A. Buja. So one cannot understand why in October 2025, Mr. Alan Chemantin is forming a political party and using the name of a political party which the NPP tradition is derived from. You are basically robbing the New Patriotic Parties of its heritage if we allow the name to stand. And though the Section 10 of the Political Parties Act clearly prohibits the use of a name that is likely to send confusion in the minds of people, I wonder why the Electoral Commission went ahead to still give them the provisional certificate to operate. Nonetheless, admit that it's a provisional certificate, and then subject to any petition, they are bound to review their decision.
And so when you head to court finally, you're going to be asking, under which particular law would you be triggering this?
I have just made provision or reference to the Political Parties Act, which is the laws of the country, which is about the naming or taking names that are similar or that are likely to bring confusion in the minds of people as to which political party you are referring to. That is one. Yeah, I mean, they could also come in a civil action. You understand that people, lawyers, will probably guide and advise that this is a typical case of past law. I mean, an act intending to take the name, the businesses and customer of a particular company, if we consider political party in the light of corporate entities incorporated for that matter. So these are possible avenues. And of course, if advised by counsel, and they would be very much clinical with the laws. But I believe that this particular name is in breach of Section 10 of the Political Parties Act. I believe that it amounts to passing off, and there are laws on the trademark infringement in the country that are supposed to help us resolve the matter.
In an attempt, would you as well be taking on the Electoral Commission, because at least they saw that law and still issued and allowed them to use that name?
Well, I understand that the certificate issue is temporary. It's not a binary, it's not a final certificate. We've had political parties, EC issue provisional certificates to political parties which have not seen the light of day at the end of the day. So you not fault them. It's also based on their casual look at the law. They also understand that they don't have the right to the interpretation of the law. and that what they ordinarily look at is what they are going to apply. And someone brings the matter to their attention and they investigate, or they still deny, the person proceeds to court and then determine the legal rights thereof. I'm sure the EC would oblige. So I don't have issue with the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
But there is a political party that has been formed that my issues are directed.
I mean, I hear you give a bit of history and background to this particular matter, but particularly, are you concerned more about the brand protection or historical preservation?
It is the historical preservation of the new patriotic party that is at stake here. And it's not about the praises behind the party. I have no issue. They came under movement for change. We all saw their performance. I mean, I don't think that nothing significant would change if they are even a political party properly incorporated or properly established. So my only issue is to the fact that you cannot sit down and allow someone to rob the history of the new patriotic, now new patriotic party, and to deny us of our historical antecedents and how we have come to be called the new patriotic party today. We make reference to the UGCC. We make reference to the Popular Front Party. We make reference to the Northern People's Party. We make reference to the National Liberation Movement because they are part and parcel of the history of the new patriotic party.
What then would you say to people who say that this appears like the NPP? If no, I mean, you have said that it's not the party in general, it is you. But people, of course, will impute this as well into the party. That it makes the NPP appear quite threatened by the Alan Chairman's new movement. And how do you respond to this perception?
Right. I mean, it's just so far-fetched, and it is too remote for anyone to assume that.
Okay, so that was a year MPP or more party said the name UP no I just say and Kuye Momo I just say Alan Chairman TV or Mudi, and the presenter was asking say it's like MPP feels threatened by how Alan Chairman why any new party, because they believe say it can actually cut into their party base. Will be they feel so okay, they don't have a home in MPP, NDC, no, they could run to the United Party. Now let's yentie in Sema a year. Abubakar Sadiq Boniface, who happened to be the national chairman of the United Party in some of the two jobs. Quick one, yaba ni FNC.
But this is 7 teams that came together. Have you forgotten of Ayeke? Have you forgotten of SG Anto? Have you forgotten of Modestu Sapadu, Amadou Baba, Baba Lada, Chiroma, and the rest? When you come, you talk of 3. Is that right? No. Capital no. So please, we have come together that the rejected stone will always become what? Cornerstone of the foundation. We were sacked, but today they claim they are giving us amnesty. What does amnesty mean? What crime has our new leader committed? What crime did I commit in MPP for you to sack me? And today you are telling me you are giving me amnesty. No way. No way. When you divorce in Islam, when you divorce a woman 3 times, she's no longer your wife. Since that kingdom come. I consider myself. I consider people like Baba Naji in the Islamic fraternity. We don't belong to anyone. We came and contributed. Ghana first. We believe in Ghana and working.
So that was in Sema a year, the new party chairman for the United Party a year, Abubakar Sadiq Boniface or the Tuja or say Islam would divorce you about me and sa 3 times wouldn't you? We are dang. So that is exactly what is really going on. Yen pick comments near end this particular live session. We ifi a year Bruni Bani or say Abronya is my pick. He's talking out of jealousy. Where is the proof of price increments by Kennedy Agyapong? So you're also reacting to some Abronya parties like Kennedy Agyapong will increase gas prices to a friend say cut Baumia Baumia's test from becoming the president or hurting election chances. And Bruni Bani or the to join. We feel Mark Norbert 8943 also politics is a funny game. Anyway, Nana, how is our ladies? Mami, Isi, and Benis, extend my greetings to them all. Thanks. So all of them are doing great. I think by next week, you should start seeing some of them in our studio. DBCRC, thank you so much for joining us in this particular live session. See you tomorrow.